Ethereum. I'm still not really hip to him like that.
He's fire, bro. Takeover. I think he's out of Richmond right now.
Drew has sent me a text message before y'all pulled up. I wanted to kind of ask you about that. Bro said that was after I was in the middle of the Sahara. Why I say it like that? The Sahara, where the desert meets the ocean. You want to start there?
Yo, at the Sahara? Yeah, bro. I've been fucking trying to go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see everything. I'm trying to be in the studios, be in the cities, but when I'm not in the studios, in the cities, go as far as I can out to the middle of nowhere with my family in Morocco and shit, and just go camping out where the Sahara meets the desert.
Oh, so that's in Morocco.
Yeah, like my cousin works for, he's in the military, and so they have like posts, like Coast Guards, you know? And so he just had a spot where they just post up on the whole coast of the Sahara because they don't want like anyone coming in. Like Spain has islands out there and shit that's really like Moroccan islands or whatever.
What are you talking about, in the American military or Moroccan military?
Moroccan military.
Okay.
And so he had his friend working there, and they were just like, yo, post up right here. And we just drove out fucking to the middle of nowhere, like the most beautiful. I got pictures and shit. It's crazy, bro.
Bro, the only desert I've been in is we drove from we drove from Beverly Hills to Vegas.
Word?
You know, like there's that stretch of desert.
Hell yeah.
It's like you get to a certain point and it's like a street sign. It's like no more gas stations for like 100 miles, and then it's just straight
Yes, sir.
desert. But also while we're driving through there, you look in the distance and we just seen like expeditions and like SUVs like far in the distance in the desert. I'm like, yo, I feel like there's some CIA shit. Like, what are
It
they,
is, bro.
What are they
That's,
doing over there?
They test all them nukes and shit, bro. Since the beginning of time over there, or since the 40s.
Since the beginning of time.
Yeah, World War II, you know?
So what is Morocco like? Were you born there? Like, yeah, how often do you go there?
I go there. I used to go there every summer. I hadn't been since COVID. It's beautiful. I wasn't born there. I was born here in Virginia, but my mom is from like the countryside of Morocco out there. And it doesn't really even have a name where she was born, but it's close to like a couple cities like Armani. But now they all live in Rabat. You know, she has a house out there and shit. I'm a Moroccan citizen. I speak Moroccan,
You a dual
Arabic.
citizen?
Huh? Yeah.
Me too.
Dually.
I just got my shit like 2 years ago.
We out here, bro. That's the way to do it, for real. Fuck it.
We really got it because when COVID happened, like it was like kind of tricky leaving America.
Yeah.
At one point there, it's like you couldn't get into Bosnia without a Bosnian citizenship.
Yep.
So we were like, yeah, let's get one just in case. You never know, like.
It's weird. I feel like we're still kind of fucked up here from COVID, bro. Like the economy and just like the inflation, or how you can't really afford to live no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see the people our age, like a lot of them, you see them online, like they can't afford homes. They're moving back in with their parents.
I think it's the most in like so many years, like 50 years, the most people from like 18 to 34, which is a big, that's a big demographic, but living back home and shit. I'm kind of interested, like 25 plus. I wonder how many people are back,
I never left my parents.
I mean, bro, you're building something though. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's like that for you guys too. But in Bosnia, like the tradition is you don't really leave your parents till you like move in with your wife.
Yeah,
your
no,
husband.
of course. Hell yeah.
Is that how you guys do it too?
Yeah. My mom, she like built a house over there, and like it's like 3 of my uncle's whole family. Like it's like 5 kids minimum, on each different floor and shit.
Yeah.
And so when we go there, we stay with them, and it's just like family crazy, We're just going out to the Sahara, going to Tangier, going to the beach, all that good shit, you know what I mean? That real life shit that you can't really get here, where you can like get away from everyone and not worry about the police pulling up on you for being somewhere you're not supposed to be and shit. Like,
the police would just, where would the police pull up on you? You mean like here?
Yeah. I don't know. Police here are just like, you feel like when you deal with them, I don't know, bro. Like, they have police outside every city. So when you drive and you travel, you got to check in basically.
And are you talking about in Morocco?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
But it's so chill. You can like park your car. Like if he looks at your papers, I'll like park my car and get out my car and go walk over to him and like chill and like have my arm on his car and shit and be like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying?
It's not like you hitting on, bro. It's like I got my arm on this car. I'm like,
Bro,
how was
feel
your
me?
day? Like,
if you did that shit here, bro, he would literally try to kill you for trying to get out of your car. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I know in Bosnia, like, here it's, here we hear cops break the law and do that type of stuff too. But I know in Bosnia, you can easily bribe cops. I've seen my dad do it. You'll get pulled over, especially like they look at him as a foreigner because he's coming from America now. So he's like, he has money. That's how they look at you when you come from America to Bosnia. And it's like, I've seen him get pulled over and just throw the cop like 20-40 and he just let him go.
Bro, I was just talking to my boy Hassam, and he was saying that one time they tried to get him for like a tail light or something that was out. And it's like around like lunchtime or dinner always when you get pulled over because they want to eat and shit. They just want like $10 or whatever.
Get some lunch money real quick.
He tried to take his passport, and he was like, because he had the American passport, he's like, dude, this says property of America. This isn't my property. He's like, if you take this, you don't know what you're doing. Like, you're gonna have these motherfuckers. He just said, here you go, sir. Have a nice day. Like,
yeah, American citizens are kind of. We have like I guess maybe some extra. I don't know if it's like extra rights around the world, but it's like you're like a different thing. Like if you have an American passport.
Freedom,
like
hope.
Yeah, freedom. Like you're official.
You have the government of fucking mega military, like military, really behind it. You know, this isn't our property. This is the military's property. That's what it is. I feel like.
I get it. So you born in where in Virginia?
I was born in Richmond, in Tuckahoe. Yeah.
How was it like coming up for you? You want to tell us a little bit about early life, fucking how you even got into music, and also I don't know where you want to start. I know you've done like a lot of stuff, but I just found out today I was going through your Instagram. Like your first post is you produced a joint for Young Money Yawn in like 2017,
B.O.,
18. I was like, that's rare as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Him and B.O. Smook, I think the song was called At the Stove.
Yeah, when I was going by Maghrib, which is Maghrib, which is Morocco and Moroccan Arabic and shit. But yeah, bro, it was cool. I don't know, growing up was chill. Fucking, I remember Katrina hit, and then it was like flooding in my house, and my dad was moving a bunch of shit, and then he had this bass guitar because he used to play bass and shit, and he just had the case open. So I remember I was young as shit, and I'm just like hitting the bass. So it's kind of like since then I stuck with the music and shit.
So if he would have had a regular guitar, you might have been a guitarist right now, like.
Yeah, but
or if he would have had a trumpet.
When I was in fourth grade, he took me to Chuck Levin's in DC because we were there for my mom's my mom's friend's wedding or some shit.
Was that Chuck Levin's?
Yeah, it's like one of the it's like a crazy music store that he used to go to. My dad used to go to in the 70s and shit in DC. Really cool. I fuck with it. It's like got super guitars and they actually give a fuck about that shit. And I remember we were walking. He's like, "Don't you want to play guitar?" Like he kind of wanted to start, you know what I mean? Like be able to play like in a band with me or some shit as a young kid. And I was just like 2 hours of looking through all the guitars, and I was just like, nah, I want to play the bass. So I don't know, maybe, but at the same time, something about that, like, just that low end just feels good, you know?
What'd your parents do coming up? What'd your parents do for work?
My dad is I guess electrician, kind of like a telephone man, and my mom cuts hair. She's like an entrepreneur and shit. So as a kid, she was cutting hair in the house because when my sister was born, she had to, wanted to stay around and like, I don't know. Shout out to them, man. They just work like, weekends and everything. So fucking, it's crazy. It's the real Virginia way. It's like blue collar. You know what I'm saying? Like jobs that if the end of the world happened, we would still need like plumbers and electricians and people, that isn't just like a fake made up creative job or some shit like these big cities. It's like, this is that real life. You got to go outside, cut lumber or some shit. You know what I mean?
I'm an electrician.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I always felt cool about that because like one of the pioneers of hip hop, I want to say it was Grandmaster Flash. Forgot one of them. I think Grandmaster Flash, he was an electrician. It was a guy who actually invented the turntable. Yeah. Like at that point it was only one. Like there's two now.
Yeah, yeah.
He was the one that took two individual ones and
playing them house parties with the MC.
He put the fucking slider on it. Like with his electrician skills, that was his knowledge.
The butterfly.
Yeah, like
hell yeah.
Oh, that's fire.
No, that's fucking electricians. Really, I mean, that's like some like new age job,
But yeah, real jobs like fucking trades, skills, like that's people. People say that was lost in America. Like we all had trade school. Like in Bosnia, they still have that, and all of high school is like once you finish middle school, your high school is a certain trade. Like you pick which one to go for.
I feel like in cities that aren't like huge cities, that shit's still pretty like that's what you gotta have, or else it just wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? Like I feel like middle America.
Even in big cities, they got all those same jobs.
Hell yeah, they need to. But big cities also have bullshit jobs, bro. Like, I don't know. There's so many jobs that have like so many different titles. Like even just creative director. Like there's some people that carry whole fucking teams and they work night and day and don't sleep every fucking day. And then there's people who just like have a team carry them and they're a creative director, and they're just annoying as fuck and they just know people or whatever. So I don't know. There's so many different lanes, but I feel like the big cities, you get everything. So you see the good every day and you see the bad every day. Versus like here, it's like you can kind of stay inside. You can go outside on your lonesome, go to the woods, go to the beach, not really bump into too many people,
Yeah, I'm big on jobs where you actually are creating stuff, bringing stuff into the world, like type shit.
Hell yeah, bro. That's the addiction. Or else you feel sick almost, bro.
Yeah. Like if you're just like a manager or you're just like, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of jobs you're not really actually the one actually doing anything. Like you said, you're just like telling people or just managing people or something. Like I don't know, pushing papers,
yeah,
sending money back and forth to different accounts.
I mean, it all depends, I guess, how hard you're working and if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, no, that's really like you got to make shit. I feel like the trance that everyone like that the economy wants you to do is just fall into working for other people and shit. And it's like it's all this whole world is man-made, like So you just gotta make shit. That's why I make music. It's like I will feel bad unless I make music every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do different shit, make rock, make fucking jazz, trap, whatever. You know what I mean? It's really like you should get up and make some shit, or else you're just a part of the trance. I feel like for real.
Okay, so you find your dad's bass guitar.
Hell yeah.
They take you to this music shop.
Get a bass, get a Bronco Squire joint.
Okay.
Then I remember that shit broke when I was 16 because I got caught at a party smoking weed by the police. And I came home, they drove me home. And then I remember my dad took that same bass and he just like broke it on my drawer as hard as he could and shit. And that was like a big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. But also, who the fuck doesn't want to break a guitar? And that's the perfect time. Your son got caught by the police.
What if he played it for a second before he broke it? Just to like have a finale?
Nah, man. I wish, bro. But, I still want to break a guitar. That shit just feels like...
You haven't broken?
Not for real. Like, I've broken it, like not for real,
on the end of like the fucking end of the show?
Like I've been playing...
Tour?
Yeah, just I want to fucking like hit that shit, light it on fire, fucking just... When you have just that real feeling, like raw energy, It's crazy because someone did that first, and then everyone tries to copy that, and that's like the fucking blueprint or whatever. But like, just something that's I want to do some just like raw energy live shit, like
Okay, so your dad breaks the guitar. How long was it until you got another guitar?
I guess we always had some at the crib, so I wasn't even really playing that one, because he just had all these other ones. He had like this old 70s Olympic and shit. So I was playing that shit. That shit is nice as fuck, for real. And then I went to school for physics. Like I went to ODU for a little bit and I switched like my first year because fucking calculus and math in college is just like the hardest shit of all time. They're just like, I'm not going to teach you anything. Teach yourself and then come take a test. Fuck that shit. So I switched to music and shit. And my mom was like really trying to have me go to school because no one in her family ever went to school for real. You know what I'm saying? So it was a big deal. And I remember switching to music and her being like, this isn't what you want to do. And
this isn't what you want to do?
Yeah, she made me, I played cello for fucking 12 years in like Richmond Symphony Youth Orchestra and all this shit. Like she made me do all this, playing all this music, and then they raised a musician. They're like, nah, you don't want to be a musician. You need a real job, which I get it. But.
So you kind of skipped from 16 to when he broke the guitar to college. What were you doing music wise in like high school? Like were you in bands at that time? Like what was going on then?
Yeah, I was playing mainly in orchestras. I was in a couple bands, like playing talent shows and shit. Just working with all the homies. I met my good friend Chris Powell, crazy drummer down here. Just fucking around, I was kind of too shy to really, cause
not doing any like shows type.
Yeah, I'd never really been in a band. I was in orchestra, and I remember watching the jazz band. I was pissed because I wanted to play the bass in jazz band in middle school. Sorry, I'm jumping around so much, but
no, you're good.
Yo, this motherfucker was like, we don't have an electric bass. And I'm trying to play the big upright bass, and the orchestral teacher is like, yo, like, you're too short for that shit. So I had to pick the cello. So the whole time I'm trying to play the bass and shit, people trying not to let me play the bass. So I was playing the cello and shit. Ended up growing in high school, got to like fucking 6'6", and then I was like, fuck this. Like, this is a sign to really take this shit seriously. Then formed a band. I was in the pep band senior year of high school.
What kind of band?
Pep band, like basketball.
Okay.
It's like the first pep band in Henrico County. Yeah, some shit like that. Fucking was cranking the amp all the way up, you know what I'm saying? That shit was fun, man. But yeah, then I was like, I quit everything. I'm going to be a fucking money maker. Then I was like, got lit in school, didn't switch back to music, and then focused up, started making beats. My roommate, OJ Finesse, at this time, is like trying to get into making beats and shit. And so we're locked in. We're just searching on Twitter all our favorite artists, like going through like contact and email after it and just trying to find all this shit. He ends up getting signed to Murda Beats. So then we get all these unreleased Murda Beats melodies and shit. So then I'm, really focusing on making beats and how to get it to fucking hit and knock and shit.
What year is this, just so we know what was going on in the game at that time?
2017, I think.
Okay.
2016, 2017. Yeah. And it's crazy because in 2016, the first beat I ever made, I got a MacBook, right? And so I'm like, all my fucking money from high school going to college, I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get a MacBook and shit. And I remember these dudes, like my homies from high school are hotboxing, right? And we have like, there's like a $250 bong and there's like a $300 ash catcher. So this thing's like this big and it has like this crazy, just giant thing. And they're all hotboxing this van on top of a fucking parking garage, right? And so I've been smoking all day. I'm fucking baked out of my mind and shit. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna chill. I just got this computer today. I'm gonna make some beats. So I'm sitting in the next car because there's a big van and then there's like a little Chrysler, like fucking, what is that shit? The 300 or some shit? I don't remember. It's my homie's car.
Chrysler 300?
The Bentley, yeah.
Oh, Bentley?
The Bentley Chrysler?
Oh, yeah. Cat Williams was like, that shit looked like a Bentley till a real Bentley pull on the street.
No, for real, bro. For real. And I remember sitting in there making beats, and then all of a sudden, like, all these cop cars. This is the first day I ever made. This is the first beat I ever made. All these cop cars come up, and they knock on my window, and they're like, are you with them? And I got my headphones on, and I got, like, all this shit out. And I was like, I'm over here. That's what I said. And then the motherfuckers walk over there, fucking... my friends open the door. Cops like, what are you doing? And they're like looking for directions. The cops like, do you think I'm new here? Do you think I'm new here? And then they say yes, because they're just like smoke billowing out. They all get arrested and shit. I get off, bro, because they said I was a DD and shit when I'd been smoking more than them the whole time. But it was just literally saved by making beats. So from that day on, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to fucking focus on this. I'm going to focus on the bass and shit.
If you weren't making the beats, you would have been in the car with them.
Yeah, literally, bro. I would have been arrested and shit. My parents would have beat my ass, bro, because, my parents are straight edge as fuck. Like, I've never seen them do anything.
If they're anything like my parents, I know my parents, even like smoking weed, like they look at it as like heroin.
Bro.
It's like when they found out I was smoking weed, my parents like, oh my God, his life's over.
When I got caught when I was 16, I had like 380 community service hours that they made me do on top of the 100 community service hours. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're like, you need to work for free because you smoke weed.
So you guys are finding this contact info from the hot people at the time. Bro gets on the Sign the Murder beats.
Yes, sir. OJ Finesse, shout out. He made that song, Baby on Baby. So this is...
Wait, by who?
Huh? By The Baby. It's Jetson and OJ Finesse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's my boy's melody,
okay.
Loki.
That's who?
OJ Finesse's melody when we were at ODU, right down there on 48th Street, 808 48th Street, Loki.
So Baby on Baby, the melody was made at ODU?
At 808 48th Street, yeah. And because I remember we were really on just like the internet shit, because we're studying, trying to get in the game. Like I remember driving to New York in a day and trying to book a studio in person with Alex Toomey, who at this time is like doing all this Young Thug shit. So he's got like the top shit of his life. And he's just like, bro, like, why didn't y'all call? Like, what the fuck? He's like pissed at us. So we go back and then we come back the next day. I'm talking no money. Like, we're just with a bag of chips.
All the way back to Richmond? Okay.
No sleep, nothing. Go back the next day, fucking try to get in the studio. He's sick or whatever. Come back. This is like the first studio session I had was with Alex Toomey at Manhattan Beach and shit when he was over there in like 2018, 2017 or some shit. And
at this time, you're actually like producing. You're not playing like actual bass.
Nah, I mean I was, but I'm really focused on producing. Yeah. So I hadn't for like a couple years and shit. And I remember like we get to the studio and like we didn't have any. We just figured that if we get in the studio with Alex Toomey, we'll blow the fuck up. Like we ain't think about it. So we dropped like 1,200 or whatever for 4 hours. Haven't slept in 2 days. We start trying to rap over some beats or whatever.
Oh, so you were rapping at the time?
I was trying to do everything. Okay. Just every single thing.
I didn't know you rap.
I don't. I was like songwriting. I was trying to get him to rap. I'm trying to sing like a hook or whatever.
Yeah.
And Alex Toomey's like pissed at us because like my boy's rolling up. Gordy's eating the blunt. Like he left the blunt on the ground. Like I still don't think he fucks with us because of that shit. Like I haven't seen him since. But shout out Alex Toomey. He was killing that shit. But
yeah. So
we were just trying to like not be patient, So we're on just fucking all the social medias and shit, trying to find ins and outs, texting murder, texting. Motherfucker found like Travis Scott's email or Travis Scott's phone number from like one of his little brother's friends, like just real weird. weird shit. You know what I mean? Rushing all this shit. Mike Dean texting him all this fucking early beats that probably suck. Like, I haven't heard them since. And I don't know. Then I found, like, I guess I found my lane through my homie Tash, because, you know, at this point we're skipping class and we're just making music like 13 hours a day, locked in. And we moved to this spot called 808 48th Street. And if anyone knows fucking ODU properties and shit, it was owned by this dude, Faraz Joffrey, who is the worst landlord of all time.
Why?
Bro,
Karen, can you open that window, please?
It's like an illegal ass fucking situation of a 11-person duplex built up and shit. Like, basically what happened was we played so much music that the ceiling collapsed in on us. Like, while with so many shows and shit, you know what I mean? So that's why everyone's...
The ceiling collapsed that's above y'all? How?
Yeah, like, we were playing...
the floor would collapse.
Huh?
You would think the floor would collapse, right?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we're making beats. Then I really get into this fucking ODU program and shit. I find the cool people that I fucked with. We start kind of jamming around and shit. So then I'm like, yo, just pull up to my spot. Fuck it. We have 11 neighbors or whatever. It's like a duplex. Like, it's up and down, not sideways. So we have like neighbors above us and under us. And we're just playing until like 5 a.m. They're like, yo, this sounds so good. I don't know, bro. Shit wasn't normal. I'm going to be real. And I remember we're just on like shrooms every day for a year and shit. Just like fucking...
I mean, all your neighbors were like other like people your age though, right?
Nah, older than us. Just working regular
like, people
jobs.
Like families and shit. Trying to put their kids to sleep and y'all just going crazy.
Like the dude at 7-Eleven. And yeah, like a fucking pizza delivery dude. Just like, you know, just random people and shit. Like 30s though. And yeah, bro. That shit is crazy because there's a lot of shit that came out of that house. But I ended up meeting this dude, Tash Patwari, who came to ODU to smoke a blunt during the eclipse in 2017. Or 2017.
Okay.
And we're chilling. I pulled up on him because I knew he had this blue Beamer that I'd seen, because I'm just on social media studying the game and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo,
he's borderline like studying and stalking. He's like, bro, he got a Beamer. He usually wear white socks on Wednesdays. Like, he just know all that.
No, real stalker shit, bro. Real, just every single thing that you could possibly look up, every thought. You know, we're just like trying to find it. You know,
yeah.
No patience, just do. And I put up on him. I'm like, I'm the hardest fucking Muslim producer out here in the 7-5. Like, you
that
ain't
was
heard
your
from
pitch?
me. Yeah, that was the first thing I think I said to him, bro. And he's like, dude, why are you so cracked out? Like, you know what I mean? He's like smoking a blunt, like looking at the water. So then, you know, we went. I had some flex points or whatever. We go to Panda Express. We chill. I bring him to 48th Street. He's like, yo, you should go by 808 48th Street and shit. And I remember at this time, 808 Mafia was just running the game. And so I just dropped the 808 out of it. And I was going by Maghreb, but it was so hard to spell and shit.
Maghreb?
Maagreeb.
Okay. And you said that actually means Morocco?
Maghreb. It's like Magrib. It's like the real, you know, Maghreb. But I was Maghreb. I was like, fuck it. You know, people understand.
Gotta put the American twist on it.
Bro, and then, you know, I'm making beats. I'm sending them out. And then BEO just hops on a random one. He puts Young Money on it too. And there's like the video. Shit's like the hardest shit that I'm starting to think I'm God. Like, I'm on the chosen path, you know, Kanye full crazy mode. And yeah, I just remember going by 48th Street, playing so much that the fucking ceiling collapsed with all the homies, moving to another house across the water with like a band and fucking all like studio rats and shit. So it was like 5 studios in the house, and then the 2 main rooms were also studios.
So how old were you when you first moved out of like your parents' house?
As soon as I was in senior year
of high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for that summer, I was just out. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna go to New York. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, bro. You don't need to sleep. You know what I mean? In a way.
I feel like you do, but I get it.
Yeah, you definitely need to catch up on it. I feel like, but when you're young, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
I fucking had so much coffee today, though, so I feel like I'm talking scattered as fuck.
No, I'm following you. So maybe touch a little bit on how you were like, oh yeah, we met this dude. We thought we were gonna blow up. It's over now. Like, we here. I feel like every artist that actually doesn't quit, they get to that point where it's like, damn, like you thought you were gonna blow up. You thought this was the time, but it really wasn't. So maybe touch on the amount of time it took that you like, and maybe some of the lessons you learned.
How many times that's happened? I remember my boy got into Harvard and Yale, and I remember being like, don't be like afraid if you don't get into Harvard and Yale. This is like my day one, Muhammad, right? This is like really one of my day ones. He gets into Yale. He becomes the freshman class president somehow. I don't know how the fuck you do that. You just go to a college and you're like, yo, vote for me for president. And everyone does in the first 2 weeks or some shit. I don't know. So he's in all these secret societies and shit. So I'm like, word, we got a place to crash outside New York. So we go, we drive through the city. We go to New Haven. It's like, 2 hours or hour and a half, some shit. We're chilling up there one Sunday. This is before the Alex Toomey session, low key. And I remember being like, yo, I printed off like 300 names of fucking studios on paper that I'd looked up and compiled. And I was like, I'm going to go to every single one and post up with my guitar and shit. It's like fucking 12 degrees. It's a Sunday. And all these literal geniuses are like, bro, like, you're not going to have success. People are sleeping. Like, these are fucking, like, real rock stars and shit you're talking about, I remember this is the first time I thought I was going to blow up just for meeting someone. We get to the studio. The first one we notice his designer's car, because the week before he'd gotten in trouble for waving a gun out the shit, and then he got, like, this BMW. I don't want to be too fucking narky, but you know what I'm saying? And we just recognized that shit because I saw the video. And so we just stop out there for like 2 hours. It's so fucking cold. We don't have any food and shit. Next thing you know, Key Wayne is trying to get pizza from the door. And like, we're just on the social media so crazy that I'm like, oh shit, it's Key Wayne. Or actually my boy OJ Finesse goes, look, it's Key Wayne. So we walk up to him. We're like, yo, like, we fuck with your beats. We fuck with everything you've done, like with Big Sean, all this shit. He's like, I'm not even gonna lie. We're working on an album right now. He's like, first thing he said, actually, we're like, you're Key Wayne. He goes, I'm the pizza man. We're like, no, you're Key Wayne. He's like, how the fuck you know who I am? We're like, we drove up from Virginia. Like, we went to get in the studio right now. I'm the best, you know what I'm saying? Having that whole crazy ass feel.
I'm the best Muslim bass player.
Not even Muslim. I'm the best guitarist in New York City, standing right here in front of you. Like, it would, it would be a fucking shame if you don't take fucking my ideas, because this shit's really going to make some money. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
and he's like, I'll be right back.
Pizza.
Goes up to Big Sean, comes back down. He's like, man, I'm not going to lie. We're finishing out this album. And so I'm telling all my friends about, I decided, still hasn't been announced. That shit was announced, like a week or two before it dropped? So this was like 3 months before that shit dropped. Then designer hops out. He's got the goggles on. I'm trying to get in the studio. I'm dapping him up and shit. Nothing. We go to 300, meet Leor Cohen walking in. I'm like, yo, like, y'all need to tap in. They're all just like, yo, send me music. Like, just being
mad aggressive and like
just fucking not patient, young 18, 19, you know what I mean? In crazy lit mode, And so it was so much just trying to meet all these people and like not being patient, which is, I think, the number one thing you should be, is just be patient, because that time will come, But at the same time, if you're really gonna do it, you're gonna have to. Your mom's going to tell you that you can't do it, and you got to still do it. Your friend's going to tell you you can't do it, and then the legend's going to tell you you can't do it, and you still got to do it.
Yeah, the world's going to tell you you can't do it.
So that's like the first 2 years of producing and shit. We're just running around. So the third year, skip back, now I'm 48th Street and shit. This was all before I was 48th Street. We lived at this one crazy house that was like haunted, bro. Like, I'm talking the craziest shit. Literally, bro, this shit, I'm like, I don't believe in that shit at all. I'm like, very much the real world is what you make it, and what, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that spiritual shit. And then we moved in.
Fuck that spiritual shit?
That's what I was on. Now I'm not,
Okay.
But I remember the last person moved in a week after we did, and then we had cluster flies in the basement, bro. Like, thousands. We have like 9 witnesses of this shit. Like, thousands of fucking flies. You can't even see through the window pane, like that kind of door. You know what I mean? And so we go down, we get like 20 of those fly strips, and we're putting them up, and then we see a knife and a picture of this family, and it's like a fucking 1893, or it's like a stupid old picture, and a fucking rusty knife, and literally some shit. Like, I'm getting chills thinking about it. And at this point, I think one of my homies is playing a prank on me, right? So I just pick that shit up and I throw it at the wall as hard as I could.
The picture and the knife.
Yeah, I was like, fuck y'all. Like, I was like, y'all ain't about to get me. You know what I mean? And so we go upstairs and we're like, my boys go into his room. He looks on his room, and every single window corner has fucking hornet's nest. So then we go into fucking that Do It Center in Norfolk. Get in the fucking hornet killer, opening the windows, trying to kill the hornet. Of course, a couple hornets come in. We're freaking out, all this shit. Bro, that house was crazy. Then the roof collapsed on my two homies on the downstairs.
Is this a different house from the last one that the roof
Nah,
collapsed?
this is like 2 months after. We had to immediately move in 3 days, and we just found this crazy giant house next to two professors for like $300 a month with 2 kitchens and like a huge house, right? Just across
$300 a month is crazy though. How the hell is it?
In Colonial Place. And the landlord's like, no one ever stays here long because it's like an actual haunted house or some shit, bro. And so the fucking ceiling collapses. It's raining on the inside and shit. Anyway, fast forward to the end. What happened was we had like scratching noises. I think I still got videos and shit of this shit. Or my boy Ethan, EPT, was living. He's hearing like scratching noises. And it's like, it sounds like a fucking dog-sized animal. Like it's not, like a rat or a squirrel. So we called a fucking Fox Terminations or whatever. He goes, you got rats and squirrels. Well, more like squirrels chasing rats. But you have so many holes in the ceiling, we can't seal this shit up. So, then the heat stops working. Then the fucking hot water stops working. For a whole winter, we're not paying rent for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Because we have no heat, no hot water. And we're just in the studio every day, like fucking skipping class. We got a jazz room, like just of a fucking, not even jazz room, like a band room. So we're all just playing, recording. Sunband is a thing. We're throwing shows, all types of shit. Just music. Bro, the fucking furnace breaks on us. So they try to get another furnace and it disappears, bro. And I'm saying the dude is blaming us for the furnace disappearing. He's like, would y'all do sell it and try and come up on some bands?
A hooked up furnace?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm like on that mode. But yo.
No, I'm just trying to follow.
And this shit, bro, it's crazy because then the owner, because there's a landlord and owner. The owner lives in New York. So the owner comes down because he's like, y'all stole my furnace or whatever. And he tries to get the same furnace that he gets replaced from like the Sears building or some shit in Chicago. And he tries to take it in the door and he can't fit it in the door. So then they're like, well, there's no way y'all stole the furnace. And so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We have no heat or no hot water. Like, y'all don't, you know what I mean? I'm like.
So you think a ghost stole the furnace?
I don't know what the fuck happened to the furnace. They hook up this furnace, right? Yeah. It's working. We have hot water, heat for like 2 months. Then one day we just start smelling like a diesel engine. Like it smells like the fucking, like a semi truck is parked in the basement. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And my other friends at this point, they're starting to move out. And I'm like, I'm going to be the last one in this bitch. So we call a dude, like a furnace specialist or some shit to come in the next morning. I remember I made beats. I didn't sleep that night. I was with my boy OJ Finesse and all the way in the back room. And we're making beats all night long. And dude comes in at 7 a.m., bright and early, opens the door, and his fucking carbon monoxide alarm goes off. He's like, y'all stayed here last night? He's like, if y'all stayed here another night, y'all could have died. And he goes down and checks, and like, literally the exhaust to the furnace is just like old brick, like in the way. Like it wasn't even an existing exhaust system. So I don't know. That house was crazy, but a lot of good music came out of that house.
No, gas leaks, that kill a lot of people.
Bro, it was like carbon monoxide.
Like you can't smell it for real. Like it'll just be leaking, and what it does is it knocks you out. And then you just go to sleep and then just never wake up.
Yeah, that shit was fucking nuts, bro. Yeah. So then we just had to move again in 2 days. And we all moved in different ways. So I moved back with OJ Finesse in this one spot on 26th Street. Just started cooking. At that other house, that 733 house or whatever, that's where motherfuckers was making baby on baby. That's where I was making all the shit with China, who Tash actually was the first person. He's like, yo, you should lock in with China. Who's
China?
China Rogers, RIP. Tiziano, the GOAT. That's the first person I really believed in my sound that I locked in with. So the first studio session I had was with Alex Hume. The second studio session I ever had was Red Bull Studios, where we were supposed to make an album for Red Bull, but then the studio shut down and all this shit. Still doesn't exist.
Where was that studio at, and how did you get connected with Red Bull?
It was in New York. It was through China because I just sent her like 800 beats one time, and she went through and picked like 40. And she was like, yo, you're my new favorite producer. We got to lock in like this week. Red Bull just gave me a fucking offer. They want me to fucking record this album for them. Can you make it down this Friday? And I remember this shit. I had Dr. Hall music history test. And I was trying to ask her, yo, can I take it early? And she was like, nah, you have to be there on Friday. This is a mandatory attendance class. And I missed that shit and ended up failing the class because I was at that fucking studio. Just for us to get there and make one song called Leo Season. And then the rest of the week, she wasn't feeling it. She was like, yo, let me show you New York for real. So I remember one day we were just fucking trying to get like ginger ale. One day we went to the skate park. We're hanging with all her homies, you know. Ran into fucking RZA. Hell yeah, I'll hit that shit. Went to SOB's to a Bodega Bam show. We're downstairs. RZA's in the way or whatever. And she goes, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Wu-Tang? And he just looked at her and he goes, yeah. Trying to walk by, because if you know SOBs, you walk down like this, you go like this, and then all the media stays here, and then there's like a big green room and a small main green room and shit. Yeah. And he's right here, and we're trying to walk by to see Bodega Bams, you know? So that's like the first introduction to like the real music world and shit.
So you said her name was China.
China Rogers.
China Rogers. That's you
from
said.
Philly.
She was the first person to really believe in your sound. Like
that was like Yams' assistant when she was younger, but you know, she could write for real. Really good songs with her. And then she passed away actually on 4/8 of 2020.
How'd she pass? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm not even. I think it was. I don't know. I think it was like overdose or some shit. But I just remember she talked to me. We had a beat that was made on 4/7 that night, and I was like, I'm actually eating. She's like, can you fix this key real quick? And I was like, I'm actually eating with my mom. Say, hey, you know. She said, you know, she talked to my mom a little bit. Ran upstairs, fixed this shit, sent it. She recorded some shit called The End or some shit.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
The
some
day
crazy.
before.
Yeah.
That's wild.
For like hours before.
And you said she was an artist from New York.
Huh?
Where was she from?
Philly. Yeah. She was ill though. She was, yeah. And then when she passed, I remember COVID hit and I was like, fuck this. So it's time to protest and shit. So I'm out in Richmond for the first 2 months. Every day. And I remember being like, man, I got to get out of here. I went to New York. I was like, this is the next step. Went to New York, started locking in, you know, went broke.
Did you do any protests around that time?
Hell yeah.
Just the George Floyd protests.
Yeah, the Richmond shits, bro. Yeah. If you look in the Times and shit, I got the big ass sign and shit in the standing on top of the bitch, bro. Yeah, that shit was, I don't know, bro. Like, I know a lot of change, like, didn't happen with the cops and shit because they're always going to be bad. But in Richmond, like, I saw those fucking shitty monuments get down, and that was, like, a part of it. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't want to see this shit every day. Yeah,
I think they say Richmond was, like, the biggest protest, like, maybe in Virginia.
It was the national...
maybe even open the door for it, but it's dumb smoky in here. Yeah. Just watch that camera. Yeah.
The National Geographic cover, 2020, I remember, was Richmond.
Yeah, so you were on the New York Times at one of these protests holding a big sign.
Richmond too, yeah. All the shit. Just, I mean, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? But that shit was just like, I was out there every day just because it felt like you knew what to do and we're supposed to be locked in. Everyone's making money. And then my homies were working at fucking Round 2, Douglas, who's now in fucking LA at Cough Syrup and shit. And so we're protesting the whole fucking first month. And he's like getting paid every day because his shop was Round 2 and shit, which got looted and shit.
Getting paid by who? The city?
Yeah, and the PPP loan shit, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Because like you couldn't have our businesses and shit.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. In that time, in the pandemic, I was on the unemployment for like, what was it, like a year or two? Bro, that really, without that money, I wouldn't even have this place right now. Because I really invested all the money I got from that into just creating, like building a studio. So that was the pandemic was like low-key a blessing for me.
Bro, it just felt like you knew what you needed to do. That's the only thing. It's like I'm getting paid, and so now I can
also
focus
that's
on
because you had your thing. Like I had my thing. I had my creative avenue, what I wanted to do. But now imagine people that their kind of whole like life was their job.
Yeah.
They didn't really know what they wanted to do. So now you're just like in the house just thinking about, like, you just with your thoughts. A lot of people went crazy. A lot of people got depressed. You know, they say the suicide rate went up crazy during the pandemic.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't a blessing for everybody.
It was not for everyone. It was,
and then let's not, all the people that actually died from the fucking disease. Like,
nah, for real. That shit was horrible. But it also, I don't know, to me, like, it helped me a lot. I couldn't see my family, though, in Morocco, so that shit sucked. But just locking in and making beats, bro, and I'm like, everyone was on Clubhouse booming with producers.
Clubhouse was a wave at that point.
So
I think it's still a thing. I think people I think people use, like, the X Spaces now.
Yeah, the fucking...
Twitter Spaces, but it's like X. Yeah.
I don't know. Twitter is cool now, but it's just so much bullshit now, too. Like, so many bots and shit. I don't know.
So y'all in Clubhouse making beats?
Bro, just you hop into a producer room, and it's like all these legends, you know? I remember getting muted by Meek Mill, because he's like, would you fuck someone with a blue check or nah? Or
he asked that question?
Would you fuck someone without a blue check who isn't verified?
Who is he asking this question
The
to?
Clubhouse room, and then pulling up.
Yo, and what up, Meek?
I said some shit like, shut the fuck up. I was like screaming on the mic. And
he said, get up.
Nah, for real, bro. Yeah. But that shit was crazy because it's like everyone right there and it's all the producers that you look up to and like just want to work with and shit. So then all of a sudden, like the Boss J. Cole song where I'm just working with my boy T-Watt and shit and the Doechii song and like all this shit.
Paper cuts?
Yeah, all that shit came out in fucking 2020. All that shit's old. You know what I'm saying? The new moves looking crazy too. You know what I mean? But that's some real shit. Like 2020 was really grind season for producers.
So Meek Mill mute you on the Clubhouse app. Did you?
Not really. No, I got kicked out of his room because I was screaming as soon as I got promoted. I like waited and raised my hand.
What were you screaming?
Huh?
What were you screaming about?
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this shit sucks. You know, just screaming. I don't know. Just trying to be heard. Fuck
that sounds like a common thread in your story.
Hell yeah, bro.
Just screaming at people like that. You need to see me. Like you need to. Also, like
that's that Kanye shit though.
No,
bro.
I get that, but
you
also,
have to know you're a god for real. You know what I'm saying? I'll start switching this up. You really do got to know that you're a fucking god at this music shit because it's all just made. Everything is man made. You know what I'm saying? So for real, you have to talk that shit. Obviously, when you're in a room,
but it has to be backed up by skill, though. You actually have, but like, that's what you did. You spent so much time actually practicing your craft to where you can have the skill level to back that confidence up.
And I feel like also when you cook up with someone for the first time, you got to play it out. You got to be quiet. Or when you're working with other people, you got to be quiet. But we're back home. I've hung out with you. You came to my gigs and shit last year. Like I feel comfortable, so I got some shit to say. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna fucking say that shit. I don't know. I think it's better to be like aware and like in the studio and shit than just chilling and being like, fuck, like let's just keep moving on, you know? Like, I don't know. Just the extra step, that's what takes that shit the extra step. Not necessarily more is more, but just more focus, more clarity, more thinking it through. Like where the beat lines up when you're playing bass. You're thinking of where the drums are hitting and where they're about to hit. That's what some shit like Alex Sneely said or some shit. And it's true. That's some real shit.
What do you mean by that?
Like if I'm listening to a song and I'm playing with a band and the drummer's playing, I'm hearing where I think he's about to hit, right in front of where I hear him hitting. You know what like his next move
anticipating
is. Anticipating it, so I can play on some feels where I'm actually behind where he's hitting. You know what I mean? It's just you always got to be anticipating. You always got to be like on top of that shit for real.
Looking back now at those early times when you were like aggressively like going up to people and stuff, was your actual skill? Do you like now you can look back in hindsight? Were you actually skilled enough to be like to do it at that point, or you really had to like some more time to go?
If I wasn't, there was another
like,
kid.
Was it like a level of delusional like confidence?
If I wasn't, there's another kid in New York who just started, who has that better confidence, and that's getting him in rooms more than me. You feel me? And it's like, I don't know, you definitely gotta humble yourself. And like, maybe if I didn't have a giant fucking like skedaddle bang on the way here on the car ride, I wouldn't be feeling this way. But real shit, bro. Like, you gotta believe in yourself, man. Like, for real. You can't just let that shit pass you by. Fuck that. We're in the industry of like really making shit happen, you know? Based off of who you are.
Believe in yourself. I think also you just gotta be comfortable with failing. You gotta fail a lot. Like going up to these people and if it's not working out, that's kind of a failure, right? So
you gotta learn how to laugh at that shit.
Laugh at that shit, but also what it really is you learn every time you fail. So the trick I found is to just fail as much as you can. That that translates to you're learning as much as you can.
And being like open about saying that you failed. Because everyone always wants to stand on business and act like the best and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck up. I make so many shitty beats every day. You know what I mean? But the ones that I lock in on, they fire.
So, okay, so this girl, China, was kind of the first artist you locked in with. Who was after her?
Honestly, I don't know. It's just been
like,
kind
what have you done people's like whole projects? Like,
I'm trying to think. I mean, there was always like the homies like Max and Natalie. Let's see. Trees low key for a little bit. I fuck with him still.
I fuck with Trees.
Bro, he's
kind of been low key. Trees low key, but yeah.
Yeah. Nah, Trees is tough, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like his
my favorite Trees song
crazy.
is Transport. I got 50 racks in the...
Yeah, no, that shit crazy. I remember just trying to work with Young Crazy hard and like BEO, CEO. That was just like the shit, you know, and it still is. You know, they were going crazy. Fucking.
We did a really fire pod with Young Crazy, actually. He was up here. He dropped a lot of gems on it. I learned a lot, too. He was kind of breaking down how he was watching how the Detroit scene popped off. And he was talking about how it was like a lot of producers like working with, like making it sound like a lot of producers making the same sound.
Hell yeah. I remember pulling up to one of his videos because they were like, they dropped the location. They're like, yo, pull up, you know? And I pulled up in a fake Gucci shirt because I was broke as shit. You know what I mean? And they didn't know anyone. It was off the dabs, crazy. And I'm just trying to I was just trying to do too much. Bro, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. That's like the real grind. I feel like that's the real hustle and shit. But he's crazy. His music crazy too.
So really, you've been kind of just touching on most of the production side. When did really like the bass playing start? Like doing the live shows?
So right after, 2020, heavy. I was like, fuck. Now I don't, I haven't really locked in with anyone like China for real. And I feel like it's just trust all my ideas and forms. Like she used to just take the beat and like go with the weird irregular form and shit. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's when I started locking on bass. So I started really practicing. I was really practicing in college and started falling in love with jazz and shit. And like Herbie and all that shit. Josh Redman, fucking Wayne Shorter, fucking the GOAT. And just locking in on weird fusion-y shit. Because I was always brought up, as a kid, my first album was School Days by Stanley Clarke. Fucking second album was Funkadelic, the one with Unfunky UFO. What's
first and second album that you just like heard in your life?
Mothership Connection. Yeah. Damn, that shit hit. Shit.
What? The joint? You want to hit it?
Nah, I'm good. I feel like I can't talk too crazy. If I hit it, I'll get real quiet and
okay.
shit. I'll feel like I need to make a beat so I could talk again, you know?
Yeah.
That's how you know I made a good beat. I get manic off this shit. It's an addiction for real, bro. Like, that shit makes you feel good, you know? Made some metal shit. Some new tapping and shit, but...
yeah, go ahead.
So this motherfucking... I'm playing... Just trying to get on this shit. I'm working with my boy T-Watt. I'm doing a lot of recording live bass because I learned through Clubhouse that everyone can make beats, but not everyone can play bass for real. So then I moved to New York. I started getting in the jazz scene. I started playing with this dude like Levi Pugh and all these motherfuckers and like fucking Stefan and just I'm driving up. I'm living in Bed-Stuy. I'm driving up to fucking the Upper West every fucking 2 times a fucking Friday and Saturday. Then I'm playing gigs in fucking Bed-Stuy, playing gigs in fucking Manhattan and shit. Just trying to get on the jazz scene, going to jams like New Blue. You know, then I'll just randomly take a trip to fucking LA, trying to hop in studios, park. The whole time you're doing this, you're trying to get in the fucking jazz scene. You're parking outside fucking studios with the guitar, and you're like, if you see someone that walks in, like I saw OJ the Juice Man at Quad Studios walking, I'm like, yo, you need some guitar? I'm the best. He's like, no, I don't. And he just kept walking, you know? But then you meet people like fucking Eric DOA and they're like, yo, let's go. Let's lock the fuck in, you know?
I just seen a video earlier. It was like, it was NBA YoungBoy and this dude was like trying to rap. Like he was walking and the guy was like trying to rap to him and he like busted a spin move and walked the other way. And the guy was like, well, all right.
Hell
just
yeah.
Like, stop rapping.
Nah, man. It's crazy, bro. This shit's really just all out there now, especially with streaming and shit. Like, there's this kid somewhere who's like fucking just at his house studying, just trying to be the best, who believes in it. You know what I'm saying? That's really the goal. I think Drake said that in some interview one time.
Yeah, he said, I'm not competing with none of these guys. He said, I'm competing with the kid that's at home that's trying to be better than me and all these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know? And that comes with like just trying to do everything, you know? So I'm playing in New York. Then I end up getting like cool gigs. I met some cool people. I met some motherfuckers like Matt, my boy Matt, fucking this dude Art.
I feel like during this pod, you've said you moved to New York like 5 different times.
Oh, bro, yeah, because I just never know.
Was it multiple times? You just kept coming back to Richmond?
Yeah, and while I was in Richmond, I was driving to New York twice a week. So that's like 4 trips, 6.5 hours, you know, and the whole time I'm there, I'm on phone calls. I'm trying to hit up people for the studio later when I land and not sleep on some crazy people shit, bro, because like, that's the real shit. I don't know how to explain it. That's when magic happens. Like, magic is happening, bro, in my phone every day. I'm like, bro, these next years are going to look crazy for real, you know? But it's crazy. It's crazy. Fuck that shit, too, because it's all not real.
What shit?
The social media shit. It's not real. It's just the internet. Go pull up in real life. You want to work with fucking... Who's your favorite artist right now?
Probably Drake.
How you get Drake in the room? You be in the room with Drake. You feel me? And so I took that mindset. I was like, I want to work like that. I want to be in the room. Fuck it. Like, figure out how to get in that room. Sneak in that shit if you have to. Be crazy. Real shit.
Steal the furnace and crawl in through like the furnace hole.
Yo, crawl into the furnace hole. Turn off the fucking chase some rats.
Who the fuck took the damn furnace? I'm still thinking about that.
And so then I get on this Crazy King Crash tour, right? So I forgot to say this. There's so much shit going on. That caffeine hit crazy, but there's so much shit.
Shout out to caffeine.
Bro, I don't know. I've been drinking a bang and hitting the gym and shit, and it just make you power to that session, but hitting it and then coming to fucking interview is just like a talk speed run, you know? On some real shit. But this.
So you were on the King Cash.
Yeah, King Crash.
I
went to New York and I was on Craigslist trying to find anything. You know, I'm going fucking writing notes outside Pirate Studio when it was like before there was any graffiti in the bathroom in 2020, like September 2020 and shit. And I'm, just trying to be everywhere. And there's this one band who was playing in 2020 at the fucking protests, who was like the protest band. It was King Crash. And they put this crazy fucking Craigslist ad up where it's like, we'll pay for a real fusion rock, all originals, real hard shit. Bassist quit on me. Hit them up that day somehow by fucking just luck, I guess.
Did we touch a little bit on this on the pod we did, the group pod we did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's like it's like a dude who lives in his van. He's like, yo, I'll pay you $100 to play Saturday mornings outside anywhere in New York, but you can't shut down if the police tell you to shut down. You can only stop when I tell you to stop. And I was like, word.
So he's going to pay you $100, but the money that he's getting is just from people that are walking by.
$100 a show, $50 for a fucking rehearsal. And there's like 3 rehearsals every week. So I was
But he's saying on the street.
Yeah.
So this is not a booked gig. It's just people that are walking by that
from
choose
Craigslist
to give you guys money.
And it's all originals, and it's really some of the hardest, like craziest electronic, like fusion level 8-minute songs.
No, I'm just saying, like, how was he getting money for that show?
He was just spending money.
Was it a booked gig?
Nah, he was like a dude who lived
or
in
were y'all like,
van.
did you have like a hat or something and people were putting money in it when they were walking by? Is that where the revenue was coming from?
Nah, he was just work for it and not make that much money. And, we would make some money, but he would just kind of give us money.
I'm just trying to think why he would pay you guys. So he was actually making no money, but he was paying you guys to play with him.
Yeah. He believed that it would take off because it was like,
okay.
That dude, Rubio, the craziest fucking drummer. But this dude, bro, this dude, I don't know. But anyway, so we're playing.
He's like, I feel like he could have found a band to start.
Huh?
He couldn't like find people to start a band with. He's like paying people off Craigslist to play with him.
Bro, but it was just because no one was good enough to play the type of music that he was making. You feel me? So I had like a tryout or whatever, get in. We're just busking around the fucking New York City, played in St. Nick Park, McCarran Park, played under the bridges, played everywhere in New York outside, and it's like 5-hour sets or until the cops would show up and they'd be like, the whole world can hear you because we had real shit just fucking.
But part of your contract was you had to keep playing.
Yeah, until he stopped and he was like, yo. And then he came up on $100,000 and he's like a dude who lives out of his van, and I
think you said something in the tech space, right?
Yeah.
On the last pod. What was that again?
Wait, what did you say? Tech space?
Didn't you say something he like?
His cousin
like
sold some shit to Walmart and then had a bunch of money, so he just gave him like $100,000, bro. So he's like, instead of getting a place, he just hired this dude who slept in his bus and shit. Shout out to Josh. He had this big ass crazy bus. We got it graffitied and shit. He's like, I want to go on a tour across Florida where we play in like all these random cities, and then from Florida we'll go to fucking Texas, and we'll blow up because no one's playing in fucking people's backyards and shit, just loud ass rock, crazy like Jimi Hendrixy kind of shit. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the most foolproof plan. I remember the first day. I think I told you about this last time, but the first day we get in the van and my boy goes to turn and he hits the fucking truck, like a construction truck, on the first turn. Like we haven't. And he turns to us, and this is our bus driver and the bus owner. He's like, yo, I'm not going to lie. I got a DUI and a suspended license. So then the dude had to pay him $5,000 out cash and shit to the company. It was crazy, bro. It was like we played everywhere in fucking America, man. Like city to city, all types of shit. Fucking under bridges in Philly, under bridges to rehearse in Baltimore. And I'm saving up for this MacBook and shit. you know, because he was like, word, I'll give you $10,000 for 2 months. And I was like, word, I don't have to pay rent. My shit just ended. I'm gonna hop on this bus for 2 months and go on my first tour and shit. Get down, we're playing, we go down to fucking Miami. The bus fucking crashed out on us, so we had to just be in a van and a trailer. So we get down to Miami, we meet up with my boys Humble, the fucking art motherfucker, the muralist and shit, and like Blanco and all these shits at Art Basel. We're playing all these sets. We couldn't sleep for 3 days and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like real fucking, literally on the streets, not making money except for in a couple places. Like Savannah, Georgia, my bass got haunted. That's when I really started believing in that shit.
How did your bass get haunted?
Bro, this is why I started believing that the first house was haunted, because all the other 4 motherfuckers are like, yeah, we lived in a haunted house. And I was like, no, the fuck we didn't. And then this bass got haunted. I had to join these motherfuckers over there, bro. I'm playing. We step out to Forsyth Park and we're setting up. And we have 2, they're called Jackery electric generators at 100%. One of them's 400 watt. One of them's like either 200 watt or 800 watt. I don't even remember. But they both aren't working for some reason. So we take them back. We bring out this giant gas one, right? And we're getting set up and we're kind of like just, you know, the drummer's like, and they're doing all this shit. Cop comes up. He's like, do you have a permit to play here? And we're like, nah. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And we're like, we're from New York. We're just a band. We're like a real band. We play the best music ever. We're trying to do it the real way, where you blow up or whatever, right? Without having to use the internet, because fuck the internet. You know, I'm on full fuck the internet mode at this point. And I remember he was like, I'm going to give y'all, just wait until this wedding ends. I'm going to let y'all play one song. If it's not fire, I'm going to have to fucking kick y'all out. And so, you know, we wait 30 minutes. This dude, who's the bus driver leader, is literally eats sardines and sauerkraut every day.
The one that has a DUI and the...
That was the bus driver,
okay,
whose bus just quit on him halfway through. So he got his $10,000 paid through the $5,000 where he hit the car. And then when the shit broke down, he got another $5,000 to fix it. It's crazy, bro. He literally spent $10,000 like 1 week and a half. So the first week and a half, complete loss. Dude is just taking his money and lighting it on fire. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bro, Savannah was crazy because as soon as we started, the light we were under turned off. And it was a Sunday. It was a fuck ton of people because there's just a wedding, you know?
Wait, my bad, cut you off. I don't know. Did I miss it, or did you say how the guitar was haunted?
So we play, and all of a sudden we had, I think this is the most people we had on tour. It was like 200, 300. It was a lot. It was like a small venue. You know what I mean? Because we were just playing. No one's ever just jammed out there, ever. And motherfuckers love it so much to where this fucking Hearst tour people are like fucking coming over and they're like, y'all got energy and shit and like pointing and shit. You know what I mean?
The generators?
Yeah, and so this one dude's like, how do you feel about after we play a couple songs, he's like, how do you feel about the Hearst store and shit? And I was just like,
the what store?
How do you feel about the mediums coming over and being like, y'all should stop and shit?
Wait, what do you mean the mediums?
Like they have these tours with mediums where they take you because Savannah's like the most haunted city or some shit.
Oh, like just a tour guide?
They drive hearses and the back is lifted up, so you're sitting on the top of this hearse like going through a haunted tour. Wait, and so they're parking.
Wait, you saying hearse like the fucking the shit that you put dead bodies in?
Yes, bro. Okay. It's like some tour, some shit. They just drive around downtown Savannah, and we're in this like super haunted park. It's like the most top 4 haunted parks in America or some shit. And so they're parking because we have like 200, 300 people in a park. Just like, yo, this is fire. And they're getting out the shit with the whole tour. And they don't really do that too much, you know? And they're like, y'all should stop. Y'all got too much energy in this park. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they weren't talking about the generators.
No, they were talking about
energy, spiritual energy.
Bro, and so we play 2 songs, and then this dude asks us, like, how do you guys feel about them saying y'all should stop? And at this point, I'm like, we're deep into the set, real rock star shit. I'm like, bro, the fuck? I'm the best in this round or that round. I'll go toe-to-toe with anyone in this round or that round on this instrument right now. Right now. And this motherfucker, literally, I go to play the next song, and the bass just doesn't work. Like, I literally go to play the next song and the bass doesn't work. So
what do you mean it doesn't work? Like it just...
I didn't know at this point. So I get the P-bass out the fucking trailer that's parked right here that's giant and just fucking crazy. Didn't have paint on it. We didn't get it painted with a graffiti until we went to Art Basel, right? So it really looks crazy. Like we just look like, who the fuck are these guys? The drummer has one lock in the back of his. He's like one of the best drummers on planet Earth. Rubio, real shit. One of the best drummers on planet Earth. Went to school for salsa in first grade and shit. Played with like played with Domi keys in fucking Berkeley and shit. He's fucking nuts. We're just on the fucking road, right? And all right, so the shit.
So you went. You played the next song. You played the next song. Your bass went out. You went to get a different bass.
So I get the different.
Because we're
bass.
trying to figure out how your bass got hunted.
So I put it back. Play, finish the set. We're packing up. Cop comes over. He's like, yo, y'all got any merch? Y'all got an album out? And the dude is like, we hadn't recorded an album with the new band. So he said, no, we have no physical albums to sell. And we have no merch because our merch dude was also the bus driver who also quit on us. You know what I mean? And we're making zero content, just doing this crazy, like real life crazy shit. And I'm on my complete, I guess I went too crazy trying to like make connections and shit. That I'm just like, fuck the phone. I'm in New York in every session, trying to go to every show and shit.
And this is the guy from one of the Hearst people asking you this?
No, this is the cop.
Okay.
The cop comes back. He's like, that's so fire. That was the best music I've ever heard level shit, bro. Like, I swear to God. And so we're putting our shit back in the trailer. We have 2 master locks. Lock 1 locks. He's like, say, you notice that light's been off the whole time? Lock 2. As soon as this lock, the light turns on. And my bass didn't want to work, so I took it to Tampa. And I remember when we're going down, you know, from Savannah, we went to like all these other fucking cities. Like, I think we hit.
Wait, also before we even get past that, so I guess there might have been somebody in the other realm that was better than you.
On God, bro, that shit obvious. That shit was fucking like, it just stopped working. He definitely was better than me, you know, and that's some real shit.
I believe in like other dimensions too, so it might have been somebody from a different dimension. It might have been you from a higher dimension.
Just like fuck you,
a different version of you. Like you still got some shit to learn, buddy.
Hey, bro, fuck it. That's some real shit. You always do though, you know. That's some. But yo, that shit was crazy. And we're like driving. We hit all these other states and shit. But when we got to Tampa, I was like, we're posted up in Florida for a little minute, so I'm gonna try and find some shit because we had already gone through. We did like 3.5 weeks in Florida alone, going from the coast. We kind of came through the middle and then we cut over and then we went through the coast, came all the way around, stayed with some people in Naples, all types of shit. Miami, our fucking hotels were just like sold out.
And all this is literally with people you just met from that Craigslist lad. Like none of these are like your friends from before that.
Nah. Yeah. And it was just like some real music. I was like, yo, this shit is different. And I don't know, that dude is fucking crazy musicians, bro. And I remember I take it to this one fucking repair shop that was like different. I thought it was just gonna be like a guitar store, but it's only a repair shop, which was really crazy. Walk in, it's like in the warehouse district or whatever. Take my bass, tell him the story. He comes back, he takes it, comes back with an egg. It's like fucking
an egg.
Yeah, some blessing shit. I don't know. And he's like, "This isn't the first haunted bass I've had." He goes back, he's looking at it. Or haunted guitar, bro. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. He opens the shit in the wire is like, it's not like a blown fuse and it's not like the wire just, you know, popped out or something. It's like pinched in the middle, cut, like pinched in the middle. Crazy shit. And he's like, look, it looks like someone just cut your fucking connection to your pickups. Like, I don't know, bro. Some weird shit. So that was the time where I was like, oh shit, bro. I fully do believe that someone is better than me at this shit all the time, you know? Because there always is. And that's the best part about playing in New York City. Someone's better at you faster. Someone's better at you with dirtier tones. Someone's got more bass. Someone's got more highs. You always see that every day, you know? Because you see everyone every day and shit.
I mean, that's also the only way to get better, too.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. For real.
Playing with people that are better than you, or like if you're fighting people that are better than you, whatever.
And it's such a, like, stand on your money shit. Like, just talk your shit. That's the only place that it really will work, is if you're like, I'm good at this. People are like, okay, let's see.
So you go on this tour with these people. That was like a 2-month thing. Are you still in touch with any of them?
Kind of. I mean, shit, I haven't really talked to them in a minute, but yeah, bro, I don't know. I eventually would like to, you know, keep playing and shit. That's just so fire. But yeah, Rubio crazy, bro. Rubio really the one, bro.
The drummer.
Yeah. I think his Instagram, like Rubio PR. That dude can... I don't know. He's the only dude I've ever met who's like, fuck, like old. He's studied all the old music. He went to school for drums at first grade, you know, in Puerto Rico and shit. And then, I don't know, like he'll just be like, oh, I'm studying like West African rhythms that are like oral traditions and shit, like written down differently and shit. He'll play, I don't know, that shit crazy, bro. But yeah, we were on Bourbon Street for like 2 weeks, just sleeping in a trailer.
Bourbon, is that California?
Nah, that's fucking Louisiana in New Orleans. And that shit's crazy because like it wasn't like we were playing actual venues. That's like the most music that's happening in actual venues. And we're sitting outside Club 541 or like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these different places and shit. And they're trying to kick us out because we have a generator and we're definitely over like the 80 decibels or whatever the fucking law limit is there. But we're making money, you know? Like I think the most we made was like 350 or some shit in one day because people fucked with it. But that shit just doesn't really pay like that. Like,
I mean, I guess just not that many people.
It's a whole life that goes into busking, you know?
Busking, that's what's called when you're playing on the street.
Yeah, it's a whole life that goes into it. Like, my boy Cornelio, another crazy drummer, literally like one of the ghosts, also busks just on a snare drum and he like dances. He does all this shit, bro. And he makes a killing out that shit.
I seen a fire dude, I want to say it was in D.C. He was playing like drums on the side of the street, but he literally, all his drums were like buckets upside down. Mm-hmm. And he had probably like 7 or 8 of them. And they were like kind of set up differently, so they sounded differently.
Yeah, nah, that shit's fire.
Yeah.
That's like, I just love live music. I like that real life happening, like real air pushing from the source. You know? I don't know. That shit's just like, now.
I also just like the idea of being able to make some sort of living doing what you love. Like everybody wants to get like super famous and like super rich, but it's a blessing too, just being able to just live a normal life off playing music or doing or whatever you do.
Because it's not normal.
Painting, if you love, you could sell a few little pieces here and make $3,000-$4,000 a month. Like even if you're not super rich doing it,
you can use it as collateral. You can use paintings as collateral. Like you can go to the bank and like use. If you just did it for 40 years, all of a sudden your paintings are literally worth money because you've been doing it for so long that people are like, you're a painter. It's crazy. That's the trippiest art form. But you can use it as collateral if it's worth a certain thing when you go to the fucking banks and try to get a loan.
So you get back from this tour. I can't remember also if we touched on the last spot. How did you end up on a tour with Kevin Gates?
Yo, through my boy Matt. So I was driving to New York like twice a week when I was in Richmond, right? Like before, probably like January 2020. And I pulled an all-nighter. I was in a session in Norfolk, and then I came back to Richmond. And then my boy, it was like fucking 10 p.m. or something, and I'd been in since like fucking 8 a.m. He was like, yo, you should come to New York. I got a session at AudioMac tonight. So I went to fucking...
AudioMac, I think that's like an app, right?
Yeah. But they also had like studios at this time. And it was through my boy Jimmy Tents. And then I meet my boy Matt, and I met Cornelio there too. And this homegirl, Nina, who's fucking crazy at violin and shit. And we're just chilling, and Matt is like the music director for Kevin Gates, and he just fucking fucked with my sound, I guess. I don't know. Just kicked it off, and he was like, yo, I got a gig for you. And then like a year later or some shit, he's like, yo, you want to play Red Rocks? And I'm like, I haven't, I was down as shit living in New York, like no money, hadn't paid rent for like 5 months, you know? And then I just get a song placed, and then it's like, oh shit, here's fucking $7,000. And so,
what song was that?
I don't even remember.
A Kevin Gates song though?
I think it was on an ad or some shit. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
But not a Kevin Gates song.
Okay.
And so then I'm like, fucking, New York was crazy, bro. I just pay all my rent off that shit or whatever.
So you get the call from his manager for the Red Rocks.
Nah, his music director.
Also, did he was he also like always playing with a live band, or was this like a new thing? Like once you came on scene, he was building this band to play with him.
It was just for Red Rocks.
Okay, so that's the first time he even performed with a live band.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I was just playing all these shitty gigs, playing all types of pop gigs, going to fucking rehearsals and studio sessions like 3 times, 4 times a day, every day. Literally not eating, not paying rent for 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to be everywhere at one time in the city, just trying to see everything all the time, you know? And all of a sudden my homie just texts me out the blue, and he goes, yo, you want to play Red Rocks in like a couple months? It's like, okay, word. And then you just play, all of a sudden, you're on stage with Kevin Gates playing Red Rocks from just grinding and all that shit. And I was like, I don't know, that whole like mindset change, like being around people who are like just trying to be healthy and like focusing on being in the gym and like working all the time and falling back in love with it, bro, that shit, I don't know. It just is infectious. So then you get that shit. And then my homie Binky from North Carolina was going on tour. So then I went on tour that summer, which is in a fucking Sprinter van. That was an amazing tour. Way too lit of a time for me, honestly, but it was so needed. That shit was so fun.
So it's like once you get a little bit of that success, you feel like you have like a little weight off your shoulders. Now you can focus on your health more.
Hell no, not at this.
Sustainable.
Hell no, not at this time, bro. But seeing other people who could focus on health, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. You see these people that are doing that.
Hell yeah.
I feel like when you're coming up, I do that sometimes too. I feel like I neglect the rest of my life sometimes, like chasing this shit.
It's an addiction, bro.
Yeah.
That's how the real success.
But also, it's like, I would say maybe I'm obsessed with it / addicted, whatever. But I really feel like what's driving me even more than that is I feel like it's my purpose. Like I feel like destiny. Like I feel like I'm really just following my heart, and that's kind of my biggest driver.
The good feelings. Hell yeah, I definitely feel that. I feel like if I don't make those good feelings, I have bad feelings. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like if I don't follow my heart, then I feel like shit. And so it's always like follow your heart even harder, you know? And just tap into that shit. I don't know. I know it sounds so corny and shit, but that's some real shit.
No, it's real shit though. So you do the Red Rock shit. And that was supposed to be just like a one-off thing?
Yeah, just like, you know, playing bass and shit. And my boy Elijah. How can I ever forget Elijah? Elijah is in Phony People, fucking ill guitarist. Very killer, bro. That dude put me on to hella prog rock and shit. That dude, yeah. Yo, so then Matt's calling us for gigs like with Tyla on Sirius XM before anyone knew Tyla was.
I just got hip to her like 2 months ago. She's like the South African artist, or is it South Africa?
So I played Sirius XM with her and we heard all her shit. And she's like, do you know Rayo, who produced Water? Because he's also Moroccan. And at this time, I didn't know.
Her song is Water, right? My bad to cut you off. Side note on the Water song. Tell me if this is your experience with that song. Because I don't know if I'm crazy. But when I first heard that song on the radio, I'm like, this is like a gospel song. I feel like it's mixed like a gospel song, but it's like sexual.
Hell yeah.
Am I tripping? Or do you get what I'm saying?
I feel like both. And yeah.
Like just hearing like the sound of it, it sounds like it's like some
that shit just goes,
shit, but it's
bro.
just like, yeah.
It's like you want to like shake your shoulders or some shit. Like as soon as, you know what I mean? When you,
I don't know. Maybe
it's
I'm
like, oh
tripping.
shit,
Okay.
That shit just goes crazy. I don't know. I fuck with her, bro. She's
she's
really
cool.
that
was my sense when I heard that song. I don't know if I'm just crazy or if anybody else think that.
For sure, bro. I feel like it takes. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with you, man. Shit.
Okay. So
Man,
you get hip to her early.
Huh?
You got hip on her shit early.
Yeah. Got hip to her shit. Played a live shit on Sirius XM. You know, it was cool. She was just trying to get in the scene. Yeah. And then you remember that studio that I was like camped out of where I met fucking Key Wayne and Designer and shit?
Is that the Red Bull studio?
Nah, that was this studio called Germano. So It's now Germano, but it's mainly the Hit Factory and it's all inclusive and shit. The next day, I think it was like the next week was the Super Bowl. And so she's going on tour because Chris Brown picked her up. He's like, I fuck with her. She needs to, you know, sing. I mean, it's like singing shit, you know what I mean? And so she goes on tour and they just wanted some live editions from the ends and the outros and the mix. So it could all be one endless kind of thing when it's music. She played like the O2 or some shit in London. Yeah. And they're putting us in Germano Studios on a Super Bowl. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck?
So you played at the Super Bowl?
Nah. I played at Germano Studios, that same studio that I couldn't get into because Key Wayne wouldn't let us in. No, I'm just playing. But no. Shout out Key Wayne, bro. But it literally, they were like finishing ideas. I'm sure I look crazy. I'm sure I look crazy now, but fuck it.
You went to the studio to play some transitions that they were going to use in the Super Bowl?
Nah. This was during the Super Bowl, like just the day.
Okay.
So we're watching the Super Bowl in the studio, but we were making transitions for Tyla's tour with Chris Brown.
Okay.
Which was like the next week. So yeah, it was just crazy that, you know, everything comes like full circle and shit.
So I guess you've been on multiple tours then with Kevin Gates. I know y'all just finished up the one. What was his last one called?
The fucking Ceremony tour, and
that's the one where he was going viral for. Or he was probably before that, where he was the.
Even before,
dig all in your stomach, going crazy on a bitch.
Hell yeah. Shout out Kevin Gates, bro. For real. That dude is a real spiritual dude. That dude is fucking really healthy. That dude gives a fuck about people. You know what I mean? Real shit.
I mean, you could definitely tell from like even just seeing his interviews and him speak that he's kind of like deep with it. Pause.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like I've been around that world and shit on the road in all these fucking different states chilling and shit, you know, with Ron and Mills and Bandcamp and John and fucking Danny and all those of Matt, fucking all those dudes. You know what I'm saying? That it's just like now that I'm back home with a friend who I haven't seen in a minute, I can really talk. You know what I'm saying?
Talk that shit. So you also mentioned a few times during the pod you have like a bunch of new shit coming out. Do you want to touch on any of the new stuff?
Man, nah, I'll just let it because I don't know when shit's dropping, you know? But fuck it. I just got good shit coming out.
Okay.
All
do you want to touch
shit.
on, I feel like on the last pod we touched on your beef with Mark Zuckerberg a little bit.
Hey.
I don't know if you want to, he been a little quiet lately since Threads dropped. Threads was a fail. They dropped
Mark.
the ball on Threads.
He been training though. You seen that shit?
He's been training for the fight with Elon.
You saw it.
I don't think
Tyson's
it's not
been
gonna
training?
happen. I've seen that. I'm gonna be honest. I probably will end up watching it, but I'm like, why is Mike Tyson keep fighting? I don't really want to see these older fighters fight.
The last one was an old fighter versus an old fighter. They were going light. They're saying nice hit.
Tyson versus what's bro name? Who? Not Jake Paul. No. It was Tyson versus a professional fighter from back in the day that he fought. That's crazy. I forgot dude's name. Not Holyfield.
It was an old fighter. I can't even remember.
It was somebody that he actually fought, I think, back in the day, too.
I think he lost, right?
I can't remember now. I want to say Tyson won that one. That's crazy. We got to look that up. Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like now he's, like, the best shape he's been in 20 years or some shit. That's what someone was saying.
I'm like, does he need money? Or, like, why is he fighting?
To bring the old and the young to the one sport, to make the sport bigger. That's the wave, bro.
Okay.
Fortnite-ification.
That's a great reason, huh?
Bring in Otto von Bismarck, you know what I'm saying?
Roy Jones, yeah. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. Who won?
I'm going to say Mike.
Mike, probably. Bringing the old generation with the new generation, coming together. We got a presidential election this year. Hopefully, whoever becomes, maybe Biden might be president again, I don't know, but I want to have a president that can finally fucking unite the country. Especially, I want to see America united, and I don't want to see it have to be like World War III or some crazy scenario that unites us. Like, can we just get it together before that? But it's looking like we might be. Do you want to touch on that? Like, are you looking at the state of the world right now? Like, it literally looks like World War III
George
is
Washington
happening.
said the two-party system will be the decline of us, bro. He said the system starts like trying to hold two people like to even. You know what I mean? So then nothing happens except for the system's able to get bigger and make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have these two old ass fucks that literally they don't give a shit about us because the housing shit is so expensive. The dollar isn't going as far as it was. I was in San Diego last week and I tried to get eggs. That shit was like $8.99 some shit in the store.
For a carton of eggs.
For 12 eggs, bro. I mean San Francisco, not San Diego. San Francisco looking crazy too.
I want to say eggs out here like what, $3, $4 maybe? $3, maybe, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's fucking that shit's crazy, bro. I don't know, man. I'm just fuck it. Who cares?
I've been trying kind of my hardest to like stay in tune with what's going on. It's hard because there's a lot of shit going on. Like every day is something new that it seems like it's escalating towards like World War III. I don't know. I just been having this feeling like it's gonna be a draft again.
Warmongers, bro. That's how we make money. All the politicians are warmongers.
But it's not even warmonger now. Like war is actually happening.
Yeah, I know. That's because everyone wants to go to war. They just need more. They want more money. They want more places for them to make more money. You know.
My little brother sent me the video of the Vietnam draft. It was like it was a video of like where they're picking the birth dates. Like it goes off your birthday.
Yeah.
And the number one day was my birthday. I would have got drafted in the first day of Vietnam. September 14th. I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy, bro.
Me and Nas would have went.
World War II wasn't even, what, 80 years ago? Like, that's just not even
I think
that
it
far
was
away.
maybe in the 40s. Or World War what? 1 or 2?
2.
Maybe 40, 60, something like
45, right? When it
that.
ended?
I really don't know. I feel like it's in the 40s or the 60s.
That's crazy, bro.
Google it. It's smoky as hell in here. Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck the two
Shout out to
verses.
the world. Hopefully we can still all be here for a long time. Hell yeah. Do you want to touch on anything else?
I'm off this world, bro.
Me too.
You feel me?
Come on. I appreciate you, bro. I feel like there's a lot of information on this. Hell yeah. I appreciate you for coming through. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got Drew Famous in the back. Pause.
Hell yeah.
Karen in the back. No Diddy. Hell yeah. Yeah. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.